All right, so today we're going to dive into a tool called Fromager, and it's built to tackle a problem that honestly probably keeps a lot of developers up at night. How do you know, really know what's inside the code you depend on?
I mean, think about it. When you just type pip install something, do you really know what's in that package? Do you have any idea how it was built or what machine it came from? If we're being honest, for most of us, the answer is probably not.
And that's because we rely so heavily on these pre-built binary packages, right? In the Python world, we call them wheels. They're super convenient, kind of like a pre-made meal. But just like that meal, they're a total black box. You have no idea what ingredients went into it, you didn't see the kitchen, and that brings a whole lot of risk and uncertainty into your project. So this whole reliance on black boxes, it leads to a problem that developers know all too well. We call it dependency hell. It's this messy, tangled web of trust issues, builds that work one place but not another, and just this general feeling that you can't fully see or control your own software.
You know, this really sets up a core conflict. On one hand, you've got the incredible convenience of pre-built packages, but that convenience comes with some serious risks. We're talking incompatible dependencies, supply chain vulnerabilities where someone could sneak malicious code in. It's scary stuff. And on the other hand, you've got the power of building everything from the original source code. That gives you total control, complete transparency.
Okay, so what's the solution here? Well, what if you could have an expert, like a master craftsman, build every single software ingredient for you from scratch? What if you had a personal cheesemonger for your software? That is the wild and brilliant idea behind Fromager.
And that's exactly what Fromager does. It is literally a tool that gives you the power to rebuild the entire dependency tree for your project. Every single component, built straight from the original source code. No more black boxes. Just total transparency.
And the name Fromager, it's not random, it's actually perfect. It taps deep into Python's quirky history. You know, Python is named after Monty Python, and they had that famous cheese shop sketch, the one with no cheese. Well, the original Python package index was literally called the cheese shop. And the wheel file format? That's because cheese comes in wheels. So a Fromager, that's French for the person who makes the cheese. It all fits together perfectly.
So let's really lean into that metaphor. Instead of just grabbing some mystery package of cheese off the shelf, Fromager is your personal, artisanal cheesemonger. It takes the raw ingredients, the pure source code, and carefully crafts these perfect, trustworthy Python wheels just for you. Okay, so how does this whole process actually work? How does our cheesemonger follow the recipe? Well, it's not just a free-for-all. It's a very deliberate, very structured, three-phase process to get that perfect build. It all starts with the pre-resolution phase. You can think of this like reading the entire recipe before you even start cooking. You figure out all your top-level ingredients and any constraints you have. Then comes the bootstrap phase. This is where the magic happens. Fromager goes through the entire dependency tree, recursively, and builds everything from source. And finally, you've got the finalization phase. This is crucial. It documents the entire process, creating a final build order and dependency graph, so the whole thing is perfectly reproducible every single time. All right, let's go a little deeper now. Let's peek inside the cheesemonger's workshop. Fromager isn't just one big blob of code. It's made up of a set of really specialized tools that all work together.
So inside this workshop, you've got 5 core components. The work context is like the head chef's clipboard, right? It tracks everything, coordinates the whole build. The bootstrapper is the recipe master, the one following the plan step by step. Then there's the resolver. That's your ingredient sourcer, going out and finding the exact right version of all the source code. The requirement resolver is kind of like your quality inspector, making sure every ingredient is up to snuff. And finally, and this is so important, you have the build environment. Think of this as a private, pristine kitchen for each and every package, making sure there's absolutely no cross-contamination between builds.
Okay, so after all of that, you might be thinking, wow, that sounds like a lot of work. Why would I go through the trouble of making my own software cheese? And the answer really boils down to 4 fundamental pillars for a secure and totally reliable software supply chain.
So these goals are what create those 4 pillars. First up, reproducibility. This means no more of those, well, it works on my machine, headaches. Second, all from source. By building everything from the ground up, you completely eliminate the risk of nasty surprises hiding in pre-built binaries. Third is a transparent toolchain. Get this, Fromager even builds its own tools from source, so you have transparency all the way down. And finally, you get total customization. This gives you the incredible power to apply critical security patches or tweak compiler options for better performance.
When you put it all together, Fromager really represents a huge shift in how we think about our software. It's about moving your software supply chain from this opaque, untrustworthy black box into a completely transparent glass box. A glass box where you can see every single ingredient, every tool, and every step of the process.
And that leaves us with a pretty powerful final thought. When you have that level of absolute control, that level of transparency and trust in the very foundation of your software, what does that unlock? What new, amazing things will you build?